Hi guys, welcome to Reality React channel. In this channel, we watch reality TV shows to react, recap, review, and for the fun of it, today we are recapping Love is Blind Season 7, The Reunion, and it is hosted by Nick and Vanessa Lachey, and they are known to not ask questions that viewers would like to know, especially the married couples. And so I have little to no expectations as I'm watching this. All the cast members that were there, and the ladies look stunning. They had they had family members of some of the cast members and cast members from the previous season with their partners, some of them with their partners. And and Vanessa were having a banter using stuff that happened in the show, like sliding into people's DMs, the rams, referring to the sleep test that Steven did. And they start by congratulating Taylor and Garrett on their relationship, on their marriage. And Taylor and Garrett are still happy, and they're each other's best friend. And Nick was doing the science jokes, and Garrett is saying that he likes it, he can go on about it, it's fine. And Garrett has taken Taylor fishing, and Garrett has also taken Tim and Taylor fishing as well, and Taylor would like to go back to do it again. And then they congratulate Tyler and Ashley. We found out that they have been doing great, and Tyler is learning a lot from Ashley. And Vanessa asked about how they have been with regards to living in the bubble before we all found out that she had married a man that has abandoned his children. And Ashley says that she misses the time where people did not know that she married Tyler, who is a deadbeat dad. And Vanessa asked him about his sperm donations to his friend and the social media chatter that the mother of his kids did about the fact that he abandoned his children. And even though Vanessa did not put it like that, but that's how she should have asked him about it, because that's basically what he did. And Tyler responded by saying that the kids and their families didn't sign up for the show, and even having the birth certificates of them online and all of that, they don't deserve that. And he explains that he was helping a friend to have a child, and when she divorced with her wife, the wife turned against her, and he stepped in to help his friend, and he played the part that was shaking. Instead of saying that he had twins naturally and with his close friend, and he doesn't owe us the world an explanation, he only owes his wife. And his wife was sitting right next to him, and Ashley was sitting there looking very uncomfortable in that dress. I think maybe it was too tight, so she kept holding on to the chair, onto the couch, and also his thigh. I don't know why she would wear a dress that's ill-fitting to that extent that she can't sit in, but then she looks cute in it anyway. And Garrett says that he got his back, and I'm like, why are you getting someone's back that's like this? Are these people the type of people that just says that just took his side without trying to understand what the other part of the family is trying to say that Tyler is abandoning his two kids that are the twins, that he was not through a sperm donor, that he got them naturally, that he at one point they had his surname, and that's why he's bothered by the fact that the birth certificates are online. I don't know. No one cares about these children. They just say that they don't care about them, and they can go wherever they want to go with their mother and their families that do not deserve to be online. Only him and his relationship deserve to have the limelight that he had, because he's the one who signed up for Love is Blind, and his wife. And Ashley tells Vanessa that she has better insight and was not blindsided, and she knows everything there is to know about Tyler. She felt insulted by the people who were feeling sorry for her, and she's the one who asked Tyler to discuss the deception on camera, because they were going they're going for the authentic look as a couple. So that's why they discuss this. And she also addresses the lie Tyler said on camera that he doesn't know his kids, that she knew that he knows his kids. Tyler was lying for the camera. And when I look at this thing, I just remember that when they say when a woman blindly loves a man, she'll even lie to herself. Because why is Ashley saying that she was not blindsided, and yet she agreed to marry him, not knowing that he had 3 children that were in his life few months before he went on to the show? And if she wasn't really blindsided like she's saying, why did Tyler and his mom delete photos of his kids on social media? And she must, for me, I feel like she must just say that directly, that she's standing beside a father that is abandoning his two twins, at least for because those are his real kids, that they had his own surname and all of that before the baby mama decided to change their surnames. And also, and she must just, no one is going to stop her from marrying a man that has kids that he's abandoning. She won't be the first woman to do it, to enable a man to do all of these things. She doesn't have to lie to us and then say that also the fact that we do not understand as human beings, so we are trying to speculate and all of that. I'm like, instead of you telling people that they are trying to speculate, try and explain to the people why you are standing beside a man like that. Nothing is wrong with having kids, but there's something wrong with abandoning the children, lying to the people and all of that, because this thing, for me, it doesn't make sense that they're trying to make it look like it's okay for Tyler to abandon his children and just do whatever he likes with Ashley. Nothing is wrong with him being loved, even though he has kids. That's it. That's how I understand it. And if he came onto the show and he said that he tries to make it up with the mother of his kids after the show, and now he is in this relationship that is so loving and all of that and all of these things, without saying that, because he's not clarifying anything. Basically, he is telling us we do not deserve to know what is happening. And Vanessa is okay with that. Vanessa and Nick, they are okay with them not clarifying, because I don't know what is the reason behind all of that. Because, I don't know, they're just standing by him. Everyone in that whole cast, they are busy putting a stamp onto people abandoning their children. Because why are they not trying to find out if he has not tried to make it up for the kids, if he has not done anything to make sure? And how is the friendship with the friend that they had kids with? Have they abandoned each other? What is happening? Because what Ashley is saying, it doesn't make sense to me. And so they ask, how is their love and how is it? And then she says that their love is so deep and calm and it's still, and it is a once in a lifetime type of love, and she will never find someone like this. And also the fact that people have been telling them that they can get an annulment, they can divorce. They are not going to do that. When she signed up to marry this man, she signed up for all of it, including these troubles that he's having, that the trouble he's causing the kids to have. Because I feel like it's not about him per se. He should look at it differently than the way he's looking at it. And yeah, I don't like the fact that he's abandoning his children, and Ashley is co-signing all of that. And also, so when they talk about their love and all of that, Tyler says that she is the love that Ashley has for him is unconditional, and she loves, and he has learned a lot from her, and their communication is very clear, and nothing is going to stop them from going forward. They are going to be separated by death. And Ashley says that she must not do anything stupid though. And I like the fact that even though he's saying it's unconditional, if he does something stupid or maybe make more kids outside of their marriage, maybe she might leave him, or she will still sign up for it. We don't know. And Vanessa asked Ashley's mom what she thinks of their love. And then she says that she has learned a lot from them, including communication that she has learned. And I don't know what she has learned. I don't know how deep that she know of these kids as well. And if I don't know, like maybe because she grew up in a single parent household, and the fact that she wants to cut off this Ashley, she wants to cut off the generational curse or whatever that she called it, and she wants to stay married. She does not only want to get married, she wants to stay married. So she's trying by all means to make it work. That's what that girl is learning, that mama is learning from her. That's just some weird stuff that is going on there in Ashley's marriage. And from the looks of it, it looks like Vanessa and Nick were told not to poke or ask a lot of questions around this marriage, because a simple question like since the twins were conceived naturally and you had stepped up after the divorce and all of that, is Tyler supporting the kids financially? And that wouldn't have rocked the relationship. That's a yes or no question. You could have answered like that. Why didn't they ask such questions? Because he's the one who said that he stepped up, and then they had the twins. After the twins, why did you just abandon the kids, and then now you are lying in front of the camera and saying you don't know them? Is that right? No, definitely not. But then Vanessa and Nick did not ask such questions. They wish them the best. And I also wish them the best, because I don't think that he doesn't deserve to be loved because he lied about the kids. I think he doesn't deserve to be loved the way he's being loved because he lied about the kids and he's abandoning his children. That's it. Everything else, I think maybe he might even be a good person. I don't know him that much. And plus, he doesn't owe us any explanation anyway. But I wish them the best. I hope one day he's going to wake up and reconsider his decisions around his children, if he has not done so by now. And then they move to AD and how good she looks and all of that. And then she says that she has inspired people with her vulnerability, and she's currently in a private relationship. And that's good for her. Good thing. And then they moved to Marisa and Ramses. And Vanessa asked about how Marisa was feeling when she watched the show. And what I said, that I hope that Marisa was not reliving the whole thing. She said that she was reliving it and it was difficult for her. And as she's talking, she's getting emotional about this whole thing. And Ramses also was asked, and then he says that it was difficult to watch Marisa be as emotional as she was when he dumped her, and that he didn't come to the show to hurt anybody. So he was hurt by the fact that she was hurting. And Nick asked what led him to break up, if that is how he felt about it. And he says that he was getting exhausted and overwhelmed by Marisa, and he knew that he couldn't live his life like that forever, and that is why he broke up with her. Then they asked Marisa's mom how she felt about what happened. And then she says that on the day of the breakup, she was driving to come to the wedding, and then she tried to understand why he was breaking up with her, and then she couldn't find the reasons why, and then but she's glad that he broke up with her, because if he did not, Mariska was going to be the one that carried the relationship. And she said that she felt like punching him in the throat, but she didn't. And she asked him, or she tells him that he broke Marisa down, and he cried about it as well, acting like he was the victim. But and she had wished that he had told her earlier that he had doubts, instead of waiting until the last minute to break up with her. And because he kept reassuring her that he was going to marry her while he knew that he had doubts. And then he says that he responds and says that she's right, she could have been forthcoming about his doubts earlier. And the reason why he didn't bring them up, because he didn't think that he was going to feel the way he felt. And he took full accountability for not being forthcoming with his feelings. And Marisa says that she didn't get a chance to work on their relationship. And I'm just wondering, what could she have done? Because if someone says he doesn't, if he said that he doesn't like her energy, and that her energy is just herself, and her energy was unlikable, unbearable, it overwhelmed him. How could she have done anything differently? And he explains that he saw a future with Marisa and he did love her. It was just unfortunate that he came to the realization that he couldn't go on with that relationship at a later stage. And Nick tells Marisa that she's beautiful and her energy is beautiful. She's a beautiful soul and she didn't do anything wrong with this. And not to dig at Ramses, but I feel like maybe Marisa needed to hear such things, because I think somewhere, somehow, she thinks that she could have done something. And I don't know what could she have done. Nothing. She could have done anything. And I saw one of her posts, in one of her interviews, she said that the reason why he broke up with her is because she listens to podcasts in the morning and she sings while she's showering. That's why he broke up with her. But like, I feel like those are the things that fuels her, that those are the things that maybe motivate her. If she had stopped listening to those things, it was not going to work out for her. She was going to be not in a happy relationship. And this guy just didn't like Marisa, and he had the right to break up with her. And I don't know, I just think that Marisa could have done this thing, even at the reunion. Maybe she could have gotten coaching in terms of how to handle this whole thing, because I don't think she even handled it better. Ah, man, this lady, she's just a mess. But I hope she is getting help that she needs. And then they ask if they can wrap up the conversation, and she asked, Vanessa asked if there's anything that he would like to clarify. He asked Ramses, and then he says the conversation about the birth control, he wasn't being a whiny baby about using condoms for that short-term engagement that they had, and he was not trying to give Marisa an ultimatum, and they had a they had a conversation further around the birth control and the method that they were going to use that was going to work out for both of them. And yeah, and I feel like he could have handled it differently by telling Marisa that he doesn't want her, or he's having doubts outside of the cameras. And she would have reacted the way she reacted. Because I feel like if he said that he was a protector, he loved her the way he loved her, he was not going to do it like that. He can see that Marisa is the type of person that gives it all. And maybe that thing, he couldn't have expected it and he couldn't have controlled it. But if you claim to love someone, you protect them. They acknowledge Zach and Blaze from season 4, and that they have brought out their baby to the reunion as well. And Nick and Vanessa welcome their first grandbaby, and they are looking forward. And Vanessa has been looking forward to these kids that are coming from the cast members, and he says that this is their first grandchild. But in the other previous season, she acknowledged that his baby that he had with someone outside of the Love Is Blind cast. I like these ladies. It's a good thing though. Then we move to Nick and Hanah. Vanessa asked if she thinks that she was too direct with Nick, and Hanah says that she needs to chill, and what she said was true, but the way she said it could have been better. And I'm like, okay, maybe she has some bit of self-awareness going on. And then Nick says some of the things that she said were not true, and how she delivered her message could have been better. And I'm wondering if he saw this during the filming, and if he did, why did he stay in that relationship? Did he intend to say no at the altar? What is happening? And then Nick says that some of the things that she said were confusing, like, and the fact that they are not in the same level in terms of respect and financial literacy. And then Garrett chips in and says that Nick had a lot of patience with Hanah, which is true, and And if this is what he's saying, then why did his friend stay in that relationship? Why did he have so much patience for such a person, such a horrible person? And then when Vanessa asked if there's anything she would like to say to Nick, she just says that she's just direct, and she could be a bit sometimes, and even she does not even say that she's sorry. She's just putting it like that. And AD and Nick were shocked by this revelation. And AD says that she likes Hanah. She likes that Hanah is owning her meanness. And then she apologized to Nick for being cruel. And then Nick brings out the hate comments that Hanah has been getting online and that she does not deserve it. And then her friend Marissa reminds Hanah that Nick has been liking those comments online. And then Hanah says that Hanah says that Nick liking those comments has hurt her, and this happened after the show was on Netflix, and I don't get how she's hurt by him basically agreeing that she was being mean, and unless if he was liking comments that were saying something like how people kept saying that she has big back energy, and then she brings out that she saw a note that was dated 2 weeks before they went into the pods, and there's and then he said that he wanted, in that note, it said that he wanted to be famous by being on Love is Blind and selling 2 houses. And he says that he did write those things, but he was not taking it that serious when he wrote them. And he was not even sure that he was going to go on Love is Blind. So it was not like something serious for him. And he write 90 days goals because his friend introduced him to such things, and then he says that there are people in the cast that can say that he has been the same guy since he's been on the show, since the beginning of the show. And Marissa chips in and say that that is not true, and the fact that Nick was going around telling the guys that he was not attracted to Hanah and she looks like a grenade, and he was rating her 5 out of 10. And Marissa tells him it is wrong for him to come on the show to be famous. And then he denied that he came to the show to be famous. And Hanah was very delusional in the show, and she was in her feelings a lot, and that she felt like she was a foot taller than him, even though she could tell that he's actually taller than her. So I think maybe the reason why she was feeling like that is because she knew that he was going around telling people that she's a 5 out of 10, she looks like a grenade and all of that. But why didn't she tell him that you are going around telling people how I don't look good enough for you in front of the cameras? Because she's saying that he was pretending in front of the cameras and all of that, and he was being mean to her. And I don't know what is this thing. And Hanah and Nick goes back and forth because he kept denying that he rated Hanah. And the straight talker in Hanah tells him to shoot in front of everyone. And AD and Marshall were shocked because it was just heated. They went quiet for some time for like a minute, because they were shocked by her behavior. And Marissa and the single girls, goes on the fact that Nick was not attracted to Hanah, and the guys were reluctant to confirm this. And Monica says that there are things that were happening that made her understand that why Hanah was insecure, and she wasn't surprised when she found out that he had goals to be famous from the show. So these things, I think those are the things that were happening behind the cameras that fueled how Hanah was behaving. And Stephen confirmed that Nick said that Hanah looked like a grenade. And Garrett says that this conversation was immature, which I understand, but the girls were trying to show that as much as Hanah was being a mean person, Nick was not an angel either. So that's why these conversations needed to be had. And Marissa pushed Ramses to confirm that Nick said those things about Hannah's looks, and Ramses confirms everything. And even when Ramses was saying that take accountability for the things you said, and then he still denied. Nick still says I didn't say any of those things, and he said that. And also when he's trying to defend himself, he says that if he was so bad to her, why did she ask to hang out a month after they finished filming? And then Marisa chips in and says that she was also still sleeping with Ramses after filming the show, and her mom was shocked and did not approve such statement. This is why I said that maybe Marisa needed some coaching before she went on this reunion as well, because the things she's saying are just not necessary. And the fact that now she's trying to defend her friend just by revealing the things that we didn't have to know, that her and Ramses were still sleeping together after filming the show. Just something else. And then also Hanah says that she went back to Nick to confirm if really the sex was as bad as it was during filming. Why? Like, and then Marisa says that they are all wrong and they are trying to push Nick to acknowledge that he was not an angel, and Nick is not having any of that. He's not. Remember in Cabo, he did say that he has an image that he would like to portray, and he doesn't like the fact that he didn't want Hanah to talk about their sexual life. Maybe he did know that he has some shortcomings, and he doesn't want people to know any of those things about their relationship. But I get him, because we don't know anything sexual happening between the married couples, because they didn't discuss it. Maybe this is part. If people discuss their sexual life in front of the cameras, we must just know that it's not gonna work out, because they focus too much on the physical relationship that they are having than the emotional one that they are supposed to be having. That maybe it's one of the indicators that it's not gonna work out. If the production focuses on that and show us that part of their relationship, we must know it's shy. And also they bring out the conversation of Nick being overly chatty with Katie. That's part of one of the arguments. And Katie says that she didn't want to hurt her best friend, and she wasn't aware that them being chatty, laughing, and all of that, it was not. And and she knows that it looked like they were flirting, but it was not. They were not flirting. And she lies and says that she only says that he was cute or hot like 2 times, and she was not. She was not planning to hurt Hanah, and she didn't know that. And she was hurt by the fact that Hanah said that she does not trust her. But why is she hurt? She doesn't trust her. She only knew her for like few weeks. And I know that they said that they are best friends, but this thing, they are best friends after meeting for few weeks, even though they were chatting for too long. And but get it, these people, they are friends, yeah. They're friends, and they had been friends even after filming. And Hanah says that she said that she does not trust Katie for the sake of saying it. She did not mean it like that. And it's because, and I think, so we kind of get to see why she behaved the way she was behaving. She was insecure. She might still be insecure, and she might still be a mean person, because the things that she was doing, the arguing, the telling Nick to shush, is this not how you talk to people, even if you don't like them, even if you think that they're beneath you? I hope that she's really working on herself, like she has worked on her body. She's working on her inner self. And then also Nick was trying to stand up for Hanah at the reunion by saying that she does not deserve the backlash that she got from people. But then he ended up catching the hit, because she ended up saying that he was pretentious and he didn't like her. And we also found out Ramses and Marisa were still sleeping together because of this conversation that was happening. And also the fact that Marisa went back to sleep with Ramses while her mom was consoling her, thinking that she's trying to build back her baby up again. And this But then I think that this experience makes it so intense that you feel like you are in love with the person. And if you are in love with a Ramses that does not know how to communicate, then actually he knows how to communicate, because maybe they were friends with benefits, because she said that after a few months she went back to him and he still said there's no chance that they will be in a relationship. And he's still saying the same thing now. And I think maybe Marisa was just trying to console herself with the physical intimacy that they were having. And I wish that they had asked Ramses if he was really ready to get for marriage, and or he was just doing it to get bumps from whoever he was gonna get access to. And also when the girls try and bring up the fact that Nick was on the show for fame, you could see that they were actually disappointed in the casting of the show, because the show people try to get just anybody to be on the show, whether you are ready or not ready for marriage. Like, how do you get someone who is still staying with their mother at the basement of their mother's house to get married to someone? How is that person going to be able to provide for themselves and the partner? Like, these type of things don't make sense. And also, how did they even cast someone like, okay, maybe Tyler lied about having the kids, so he looked like good on paper, but then his other things that he needed to get in order were not in order. Maybe they didn't do background checks on him and stuff like that. But you could sense that in Monica was actually disappointed in how they casted Nick and even Steven. But some of the things they can't really get from people's expert they can't really dig that much deep into people's lives, I guess. And then we move to Leo and Brittany. And Vanessa asked Leo if he noticed that he talked too much about his money. And he says that they were encouraged to speak about all aspects of marriage, and that includes money. And he says that he wished that he spoke about his other things instead of just money. And Tim compliments Leo and says that he's a good guy, he's creative, and he has more to give than just money. And I think Tim was one of the people that were fitting his Rolex. And yeah, so Nick asked him how was it for him to choose between two beautiful women, and he says that he was torn between them, and he compared them to like food, like steak and pasta. And he says that he was wrapped around his decision. He did not consider their feelings, and that's one of the things that he regrets. And now he's learning to consider other people's feelings. Vanessa asked if there's anything he would like to say to either Hanah or Brittany. And then he apologizes to Hanah for trying to manipulate her on the night of the breakup, and also asking her to have the mutual breakup conversation with Brittany. And she's just sitting there, not saying anything. And they talk about the reveal between Brittany and Leo. And then she says that Brittany says that it was awkward, and she was more comfortable with Leo than she led us to believe, and she wished that he was kissing her more so that she could say less of the things that she was saying. And they asked her if she was surprised by them not being able to go to Cabo, and she says no, she wasn't surprised by them, because she never even said that she loves Leo, and their relationship was one of the weakest links. And they explained to them that they only pick people to go to Cabo if they think that there's a chance that they will say yes at the altar. So that's why they didn't pick them. And Leo, when they talk about the trip to in Miami, that they showed us the videos on out in all of them, and she says that the reason why they broke up is because on the vacation she did see that her and Leo were never meant for each other. They were not compatible, and Leo likes drinking from her drinks, and she didn't like that. And we find out that she's now in a relationship, and Leo is single. And I don't know, they are putting her as an aspiring trophy wife. If she's really an aspiring trophy wife, why didn't they try and find out if in that specific relationship she's a trophy wife or not? and they talk about, now they move to Monica and Steven, and Nick asked about the sleep test result, and as he's trying to answer, Nancy from season 3 says that what was in the text that made them broke up, and he wanted not to share the details of the text, and out of respect for the person that he was chatting to. And Monica interjects and says that, but he didn't respect her enough not to respond to that text, or while he was on Love Is Blind and was engaged to her, not to flirt to other women. Then he goes on a pity party about how no one wants to hear his side of the story, so he'll just shut up. But he still does not shut up. And then he says that they met up with Monica and discussed the details of the text, and he wrote the letter to her parent to apologize. And then Monica just blasts out and says that you wrote that letter so that you can bring it up at the reunion. And then he doesn't want to talk. He says he doesn't want to talk about it because he has taken accountability for his behavior and he would like to have moved on. And this is my thinking is that Steven shouldn't have come to the reunion, because this is what normally happens at the reunion. They discuss the stuff that happened on the show. And if this is how he feels about it, then he shouldn't have come. I don't get why he's angry. And what are they discussing in that therapy sessions that he keeps saying that he goes to therapy, if he's going to throw tantrums about how the show is? And is he angry that Monica dumped him for flirting with other women, or he's angry that he's discussing this thing? Why? And also that we found out that the message was on Instagram, and he called his response a moment of weakness because the lady just randomly asked him about his kinks, and then he responded to it, and out of the blue. And he says that he shouldn't have responded, and he talks about how Monica knew that he doesn't live he doesn't have password on his phone, so Monica went searching for the stuff. This whole thing does not make sense. And Vanessa asked if Monica expected that he was going to cheat on her, because at one point during the pods, he did tell her that he cheated, and she said, I am sorry. And she says that she has dated a lot of cheaters and in the past, and none of them really came forth to say, I have cheated before. And that she likes that she didn't see it coming, that he was going to cheat on her. Says that he regrets texting that girl, and he never met that person, that he never met her in person. And Steven has known that person for long. They have been chatting for long, and that was not the first time they were chatting. And so that's why I think this is part of the reasons why Monica left that relationship, because it was not out of the moment thing. They had been chatting, and maybe the reason why they looked at the kinks, that's the main reason why they broke up. But I think he was chatting to this person, and I don't get why he's not seeing that he actually cheated. And for someone, it looks like it was a light thing. But when Monica tries to explain that the chat was long, it has history and all of that, so it's not that specific kink thing that he was trying to say. It's him not saying that, hey, I am now in a relationship, like Garrett did when he got that text. So it's him not, and for him to say that, oh, I had left it like that, don't have password, I don't have this, I don't have that, doesn't mean anything to anybody. If you are in a relationship and you get a text, that's what you should say to the people texting you, not respond and then you call it a moment of weakness and then you leave evidence lying around. I think he intentionally did that because he knew that Monica will break up with him. He was intentionally sabotaging that relationship. I don't get why these people are not asking him that type of question. If you say your phone does not have a password, when you leave cheating evidence while you are known to be a cheater, and you have said that you are known to be a cheater, and then you leave evidence lying around, it means that you want the relationship to end. Why is that not being clarified? And then we move to Alex and Tim, and Vanessa compliments Alex on the looks, and she says that it's good thing that she has cut her hair. It shows that she's ready to move on. And then they try and bring the Cabo argument. And she says that her dad, before she went on to the pods, her dad was admitted into a care facility, and then she was not in contact with them throughout the pods scenario. The pod scenes for like 3 weeks, and then when she went to Cabo, she was just overwhelmed by all of that, and she needed space, and Tim refused to give her space, and that led them to argue. And then um during the argument, she ended up calling him a little SB. And then Tim says that she left him at the pool party, and he was trying to understand why he found her crying and on the floor. And she ended up calling him the little SB word, and he didn't want to be portrayed as the angry black man. That's why it was never shown. And while they were arguing, she was trying to prevent the production to come into that situation. And that's why she ended up saying, please stop talking. And he was also on her face the whole time and was pointing fingers at her and all of that. But then when everything was shown, it was shown as him saying that he wants to leave the show. And all the time what she did was trying to protect him. This is what you do when you love a person. This is what is that guy? Ramses should learn. You don't just let the dogs out and let everyone come into your space like that. And Vanessa tries to find out if Tim had checked out immediately from Cabo, like the way people from the social media said. And then he says that he didn't confirm or deny that he had checked out at that. But then he's not happy with the fact that everyone is trying to want to find out what happened. And we do want to find out what happened, because this was their big story. We were not understanding Alex's energy and all of that. And they both agree that she didn't put hands on him. He was shouting at her. He denies that shouting. And then she says that production had to come in and de-escalate the situation and to calm him down, and he still does not get it. And he didn't like to be called what she called him. And he still doesn't understand why women are like that for him. And she was upset that her father, the fact that she couldn't communicate with her father, but Tim still should have given her space that she needed, even instead of arguing about it and finding out later why she needed the space. Like why this her wanting space is a problem for him, but when she says that and then he was telling everyone who had ears that she likes to cuddle even when he doesn't want to. But when she needed space for that few days after the second day of meeting him, he didn't want to understand that. I don't get Tim's knowledge of how he thinks. And he kept asking what did he do to deserve such disrespect. But she kept telling him that she didn't appreciate him doing her like the way she did. And then they addressed the sleeping thing that Alex did in front of his parents. And she said that she took a nap as she was going to bartend for the first time after during the filming. And she bartends from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. And she wanted an hour after meeting his family from like 11 to like 4 p.m. And she was just tired because she needed to go work after. And then Tim says that he ended the engagement because she was disrespectful and was not inconsiderate, because their whole thing was the fact that they liked each other because they both love their families. So Alex tries to explain their situation, and she says that the day before they met his parents, they went to dinner. And on that dinner, he did indicate that he had doubts about their relationship. And this was after he read the letter to her dad. And I feel like most of the stuff that happened between their relationship was lack of communication. Even there in Cabo, she could have said, please, I need space. I have not spoken to my father. please leave me alone for this some time. I don't want you to be comforting me. I need my own space. And he should have left it at that. But then it seems like there's a broken thing going on in their relationship, and they lacked communication. That's my understanding of it. Because if he says that the reason why she appeared like she was not connecting with his parents is because he said he had doubts, she could have told him that I have, when the fact that you have doubts, I made me disconnect. And even when she went to nap, it seems like she didn't tell him that I'm going to nap because I'm waking from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's it. That whole thing did not need to happen. Even she even tells him that she did not deserve the way he broke up with her. They hate that, like, I don't want to ever see you again. There was no need for all of that anonymity. Like, all of these things that they are going on in their relationship was not a need. And as Alex is explaining herself, he is busy laughing, and Brittany calls him out on that because this whole thing that is happening does not need to happen. And Vanessa and their argument caused, she noticed that the reason why their relationship did not work out is because they don't listen to each other. Even when the other person is talking, no one listens. And we found out, she asked him what they have been up to after all of that bickering that was happening, and Tim acting like he is the victim in all of this thing that's happening in his life. Like, Tim is not self-aware. I really think that Tim needs help, and he doesn't notice that he needs help. Whatever he has been listening to is not good for him, and it's not ever gonna work if he wants to be in a relationship. We find out that Alex has been working on her own life, and she's owning a family. And Tim has found the brotherhood from the guys. They are not in a relationship, or that was not even asked. And the girls says that they went on a girls trip, and then they show, so they try, the feeling of the whole thing is uh showing other people from the previous seasons and how their lives are. So we found out from Jessica from season 1 has met her husband in 2020, and they got married in 2022, and they have a baby boy now, and Nico and greet the baby. And also Nancy from season 3 has moved to New York City, and she met her partner there. And Marshall has moved to LA, and he is single, and he's just doing adulthood things. And they also talked to Fong and Tom, and that they are happy that Taylor and Garrett are doing well in their relationship. And we found out Taylor and Garrett are living at Friedrichsburg, and they have been living there for the past year, and they are traveling a lot. They showed pics of their traveling. And also Taylor tells her parents that home is where Garrett is, and they are planning to move to DC. And Garrett has modeled for Fashion Week. Garrett looks good. He looks better than when he came to the show. And they plan to travel more. And Ashley and Tyler have been to a cabin and have been building holiday ornaments, and they will continue to make those holiday ornaments. And we also see their footage as well of what they have been up to, and they're doing matching pajamas with the dog as well, and they should be matching with his kids as well, if you ask me. And they'll be spending time with his side of the family for the coming holidays as well. And we also found out that the season 8 cast, and the fact that the next year it will be 5 years anniversary of Love is Blind. And yeah, and now it's moving to season 8 will be for Minneapolis, and the 3 people there share their experience and the fact that why did they go on Love is Blind without giving too much. And they end the season by thanking everyone, and they have a poem from Leo. So this is the end, and from me, I really wish Ashley and Tyler the best in marriage, and hopefully they after enough time he'll consider he'll consider being an active father in his children's life, and stop thinking that the people on the internet are after his marriage with no reason, and are just hating on him and his partner. as much as he doesn't owe us, he owed those kids an explanation on why he was denying them in front of the TV. And also, he owes them a father because he is their father. And if he wants to stop this generational father wound, he needs to do better by those children. And I'm glad that Marissa tried showing that Garrett was it was wrong of Garrett to say that them arguing about Nick's statement is immature, because that whole thing being that the whole thing about her looks being discussed by Nick to the guys probably played a role in how in how Hannah behaved in the show. And also them discussing this whole thing made us realize that maybe Nick was not innocent as he played it out in front of all of us, the whole show, in front of the cameras. And even with Ramses and trying to show that he should at least accept that what he said and taking out accountability and saying all of that, he still was denying all of that. But it made us see the whole thing, just not just seeing Hannah as the person who is just so mean for no reason. It was a good thing that they did that, and I wish that they had tried to find out if like the whole what the whole cast is up to, instead of just asking the lives of Leo and Brittany and Tim and Alex. We could have tried to find out what the other people are up to and if they are dating and what is happening in their lives. And thank you guys for watching all the recaps of the whole season. And please comment, like this, and like this video, and subscribe to Reality React channel. See you guys in the next recap.